what's going on here? Why is my client paying you all this money?
Mm-hmm.
It just, and I don't know if you work in banking, you tell us down in the comments, but it just seemed like something about either the dollar amount or the way we were doing the transaction or something was setting off alarm
Yeah.
bells for this banker. And she was like, at every moment, she was trying to like make sure that the buyer was 100%
trying to do it.
Yeah, it's like she thought we took her for hostage or
I don't
something,
know.
like something off of a movie.
I mean, so we are at the bank about to sell our tiny house.
Why are you so extra? Hey, it's go time, man. Let's do it. It's go time.
La mama ready. Say, I'm ready for my check.
You ready, girlfriend? Let's get you some shade. Keep you out that sun.
Zalayah, say, spend the check and get it right back.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Marek, and I'm here with my beautiful wife,
Kothney-Issa.
And sleeping baby Zalayah is over there. And first things first.
What is this background that we're filming in?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Where the heck are we? Well, we're in our brand new house.
Yeah.
Our brand new, unfurnished, completely empty, vacant house. Number two, what the heck just happened? I have always spoken highly about Facebook Marketplace when we downsized to go tiny, but to sell a house on Facebook Marketplace? This is unbelievable. So today is the day that we close, and we're going to talk through the entire thing, but let me take you back about 5, 6, 7 days to the day that we did the showing, to the person who ultimately bought it, and let us just share a little bit of the behind the scenes with that.
I don't wonder how you sleep at night, won't he do it? Oh yes he will. Say hi to your auntie.
Good morning.
She literally just opened her eyes. So I trust them at all times. Stop recording me.
Yo, I think we just sold the house.
No, bro, literally got up and was like getting ready.
We have an offer,
and
a legit
they
offer
pulled up. I was like, oh shit.
On the house. We posted the tiny house in just a few places, and it was really honestly just a test listing. Like I wanted to kind of see, what people thought about the price, what kind of questions people were asking. It wasn't even like our full deal. We were like, once we move out of the house, we'll stage it with some nice decor. We'll take professional photos. We'll make a whole YouTube video and like really push it out. And we got hits off of the test listing. So yesterday we had a showing last night around 7:30, and then today we just had a showing at noon, and she loves it. She loves the house. Now I'm not going to share too much about the buyer just for privacy reasons, but like,
walked in, offered full price right after she saw it.
Full price.
We don't have to move it.
We don't have to move it. She wants to keep it right where it is. So the skirting, the winterization, the utility connections, everything is set up. And the crazy part is we were actually thinking about, we were going to be moving it. Like I was going to be disassembling the skirting today. Like right now, I was going to be working on the disassembly because we were going to move it to our driveway until it's sold. And God said, it's sold. I'm kind of lost for words. What do you have to say about all of this?
Won't he do it? He said he would. Fight your battles, won't you? They're going to wonder how you sleep at night. Won't he do it?
Hey!
He said he would.
Yes!
So we trust him at all times. So I was like, y'all doing too much. So why did we list our tiny home for sale? We decided to either sell it or leave it in our driveway for a future project down the road. But we're like, if we do sell it, we'll be able to use that cash up front and funnel it into whatever our next project is going to be with our tiny home ventures. And so we just didn't expect for it to get actually bought on that soft listing. The one option kind of just fell in our laps and we took the opportunity.
Usually we have like a general plan, but there's different avenues to go, if that makes sense. So we have a general idea of the direction that we're traveling, but we just don't know exactly which footpath we'll take. And we found a buyer, so we're taking that path. So what happened after the listing went live? Within the first 12 days, we were doing our first showing, which did not go through. On the 13th day is when we did the showing, our second showing, and this was our buyer. This was a cash buyer. She came in with full asking price. We closed the deal less than 7 days after her showing.
Yep. And I just want to add, like, it was, the timing of it was nothing but God, because literally that next day, so we showed it on Sunday. Monday, we were going to rip down the skirting. We were actually supposed to rip down the skirting on Sunday. So we were going to do it Sunday, Monday, and then we were going to move the tiny house into our driveway on that Tuesday. And that lady literally came and saw it on Sunday and was like, I want to buy it. Don't move it. Leave it right here. And she was actually even willing to pay our rent for that month just so we wouldn't move it. So we didn't get charged. Like, literally, it was a God thing. The timing of it was crazy.
So how does showings work? It didn't necessarily work exactly like that of a traditional house. It's not like we did an open house and just let anybody come in. We listed it, and people that reached out and inquired about it, we were welcome to show it to anybody as long as they provided proof of funds first. People love just touring tiny homes in general, so we didn't want to waste a bunch of time showing people that weren't seriously interested and really had no intention on buying the house. Now, of course, that doesn't rope them into buying it, but we at least want to know if they do come and see it and like it, that they actually have the ability to pay. Bank statement, Alta statement for a recent sale of another property that they may have done, a pre-approval from a bank, really any of those official types of verification.
So one of the biggest things that people are always asking is, do tiny homes depreciate? And we're actually living proof that they appreciate, at least in our situation anyway. We were able to get our full investment out of it and then some. So yeah, it actually worked out pretty well for us. And I mean, the house is in great condition. So I think a lot of times people think, oh, well, you're taking it down the road, so it's going to get beat up and it's going to look like this. But it wasn't like new condition. So.
And I definitely think that the market and what's happening right now in housing has a big part to do with it.
That's true.
With house prices being at some of the all-time highs and people having to really go into these bidding wars and all these different things, for you to be able to get into a home, like new home, granted it's small, I understand that, but for you to be able to get into something like that for less than 6 figures, and it's connected, it's hooked up, all of these different things, and it's turnkey, it's ready to go. I think that gave it a lot of appeal to a lot of different people, and I think it shows as to why it went so fast. We honestly, for the entire time we've been in the tiny house, have always thought in our heads, if we don't get back what we paid for it and some, then essentially it's still sort of a win, just because we otherwise would have been renting. And so mentally, we always felt like we would probably get less money for it than what we spent on it. But what has ended up happening is, think of it this way. Imagine you're a young couple. You don't know where you're going to live. You don't know where you want to settle down. You don't know where your jobs are going to take you. So you want to stay flexible and you want to be able to move around and try out different states and things like that. Imagine when you got done doing that for 4 years, you bought a house, and then all of your previous landlords over that 4-year period called you up and said, hey, you know what? We want to give you all of your rent payments back and a little bit on top. That's essentially what just happened with this. When she says that's the Lord, that is the Lord. Like,
Literally.
But yeah, that's the gist of it. Our house appreciated. Our tiny house on wheels appreciated in value.
Yep.
So all that said, how does the actual transaction work? And the easiest way I know how to describe it is it works like the sale of a used car or an RV or a boat or anything like that that's on wheels, that's personal property and not real property, that has a title that can be exchanged.
So this was actually something that we brought to the title company when we were closing on our home, and we wanted to know if we could run the sale through the title company, but they were kind of explaining to us about like the fact that it wasn't real estate and you would have to attach it to land and all this stuff. So that's what makes it just a transaction like you would do on the used car, like he was saying.
Yeah, the guy at the title company was literally like, 21 years in the business and you never hear every question.
Yeah. He was like, wait a minute, that looks like a house. Like, it is a house, but it's on wheels, you can move it? He was like, his mind was like blown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically when it came down to it, we just came up with an agreement. We talked about it all with the buyer, and then we put the agreement together. And the bill of sale basically just started with some basic information at the top: seller, buyer, property, location, purchase price, those sorts of things. Then beyond that, there's a section which talks about everything that's included: propane tanks, bar stools, the ladder, the sliding barn doors, things that aren't permanently attached to the structure that it was important for us to put in the contract to make sure the buyer felt fully comfortable and understood exactly what was coming with the purchase. Beyond that, there were 5 sections and clauses that we put in to protect both ourselves and to protect the buyer. One of them was free and clear, basically just stating that we own the home outright, we have the title, we have the ownership rights to legally convey the title to the buyer. The second one was an as is in its present condition clause, which basically just state that the buyer has had a chance to look the home over, have an inspector come out if they should desire, and that they understand that the maintenance associated with the home is their responsibility once the ownership is transferred over to them. The next one was the location. The buyer actually wanted to keep it right where it was currently parked, so it was just a matter of the buyer getting in touch with the park owner, making sure that everything worked out on that end, and we actually were able to work it out. They keep the same electrical, water, plumbing, winterization, all of the connections and everything we set up, including the skirting, stayed in place, stayed intact, and the buyer was able to actually just come directly in, move in, and not have to worry about any of those additional expenses that typically come with first moving into a tiny home. The fourth clause was sales tax. Basically, the buyer just stating that they understand they're responsible for any taxes associated with taking the title in, getting it registered, getting everything switched over to their name. And the last one was just the details around the closing and the logistics of how all of that would take place. We agreed that we would meet the buyer at their bank and they could grab a certified check from the teller to hand over to us. And then to protect the buyer on their end, we would come with the bill of sale that we sent to them a couple of days prior, and that we would have that bill of sale notarized. Now, one thing that we found pretty interesting at the bank, and I'll let her talk about this.
We're not gonna talk about it.
It was kind of...
I'll talk about it because I don't even want you to do all that.
Tell them.
It was a little off-putting. When we got there, it was
not from our buyer.
Yeah, no, not from our buyer, but from the notary herself. She actually opened the door and was like, "Can I help you?" I was like, "Yeah, we're just coming to do a transaction and get something notarized with," and the person is coming right now. And so she kind of just was kind of a little bit already, like, guards were up. And so the buyer came in and was like, "Oh yeah, are you such and such? We spoke on the phone, whoop-de-whoop." And it was like she already knew the details because the buyer called her. But I guess maybe she just wasn't expecting us. I'm not quite sure. But it basically
just seemed like she was nervous. Like she felt like, what's going on here? Why is my client paying you all this money? Mm-hmm. It just, and I don't know if you work in banking, you tell us down in the comments, but it just seemed like something about either the dollar amount or the way we were doing the transaction or something was setting off alarm bells for this banker. And she was like, at every moment, she was trying to like make sure that the buyer was 100%
trying to do it.
Yeah, it's like she thought we took her for hostage or something. I don't know. Like something off of a movie.
I mean, I understand, like, okay, you're nervous, but I think there's a ways to go about being nervous and not like making us feel like, you know, it was a little off-putting because she was like, "Oh, I can't notarize anything for y'all. Like, it'll be $2 for every notary because you're not clients here at this bank." And I'm like, "Okay, ma'am. Like, you're not even gonna let him finish. Like, you're not even gonna let him get the words out of his mouth before you cut him off and tell him no. He gonna $2, ma'am. $2. You can have the $2. Like, what in the world?"
I thought you said you was gonna let me explain it so that we didn't go there.
$2, ma'am. $2, ma'am. $2. Yes. I'm like, that's doing too much. She was doing too much.
The other thing was like, the bill of sale, I brought 2 of them, and I was thinking either we could each sign both of them and each take home an original, or we could just sign one and we could make a physical copy. I was like, either way. But like before I could even get it out of my mouth, she was just like,
nope.
Like, are they identical? And I was like, I'm like, we could do this however, like it's fine. And then she asked the buyer at one point, she was like, "And so you want this much funds all given to these people?"
No, she didn't say it like that. She didn't even say. She said it like, "So you want to transfer all these funds to these people?" I'm like,
That's what I just
No,
said.
you said to these people. She didn't say to these people. She said to these people. Like, to these people. Like, ma'am, these people are standing right in front of you. Yes, to us, the people that came over here because we're selling her a
I love
tiny
how our
home.
videos start out like all professional and like, and then we just come completely unglued. But anyway, we just wanted to share the details. We're super excited. If you don't put anything hateful in the comments, like that's not our goal. It's just always our goal to speak candidly and openly and honestly.
And share the funny stories.
And share the funny stories. That's it.
And upsetting.
But we don't let the negativity get to us or hold us down.
Because we still got our money.
For everybody. And so God bless that lady. You know, it's whatever. But... No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
It's because you said, God bless that lady. Or whatever.
No, I genuinely mean that. Yeah. But that's how it went. That's everything. Thank you guys so much for the support. I know people are probably going to be like, what? Y'all sold the tiny... It's not... I've been saying this in all our videos, but it's not the end
it's not.
Tiny houses for us. We got some plans in the works. Well... We got some plans that are going down on paper, but we can't share it all right now. So don't think that this is it. But we're transitioning out of living tiny personally. But
for right now, for the foreseeable future, I don't know. Ain't no forever. We literally got in this house, y'all, and we were like, oh my gosh, like look at all this space. Look how far we have to walk to the bathroom. Look how far. It was like, oh, this is. But it's been nice nonetheless. We love it. It's just, you know, an adjustment period from literally being in a small space to being in this large space. So, yeah, we appreciate y'all and all the support that y'all continue to give us, regardless of so much where we live, you know. So we love y'all. We appreciate y'all so much.
See you on the next one.
Oh, like that. This was you. Look, this was you. See you on the next one.
I'm pretty excited. I don't get excited about things
because he don't
before they happen, but I feel like she's serious. I did not get the feeling that.
No, she's serious.
I think we just sold our house. Wow.
But little mama about to eat some breakfast. Well, lunch.
What's she having for breakfast today?
Milk. Then for lunch, milk. Then for snack, milk. Then for dinner, milk. Ain't that right, mama?
Hey.
He would do it for you. Won't he? He said just trust him. My child. Period. Pooh. Ooh. Sorry, mama.